Hello, hello, and welcome to our very latest episode of Her, Him, and a Dev. I am CMoney, and I am joined by the always lovely Doodle.
What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Thank you so very much for rocking out with us.
Thank you so much indeed. Now, today we have one of the developers that we played their game at PAX East and had such a fun time. We could not wait to get them on the show so we could talk about it more. And that game is Big Boy Boxing.
Woo, let's
And
go.
that dev right here is our man Martin from Soup Masters. Thank you so much,
Thank
my brother, for
you.
being here. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for making such a dope game. Can't wait to play more of it and see more of it. But God, man, thank you for being here, bro. Appreciate you.
Yep, it's the pleasure is all mine. Whenever I can talk about big boy boxing to people, that's just a fun time for me. So thank you guys for having me on here.
Absolutely. Of course,
Absolutely.
man. Thank you so
Welcome.
much for being here. All right. So before we get started, shout out to everybody here right now watching us live. We appreciate each and every one of you.
Thank you, guys.
And of course, we do want to go ahead and shout out our YouTube elite members. We got the homie Big Boy Mike, we got the homie Dark Angelic, Spoonman, and Dragon's Blaze 79. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for rocking with us and for your support. All right, let's go ahead and let's get started. All
Yes.
right. So Big Boy Boxing, we did a video on it already from PAX. We had a great time playing it. Again, can't wait to play more. So why don't you uh first start by telling us a little bit about yourself and your team over at Soup Masters who's working on the game. How'd you get started? What motivated you to get started? And also how'd you come up with the name, man? Soup Masters. Love the
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah, okay, let's start. Well, let's start with who we are. So we're Soup Masters here. We're based in Sweden, Gothenburg. And really, the team consists of me, Martin, and my colleague Ludwig. So you could say it's kind of a small indie studio or even a micro studio. But yeah, we do work with like a lot of, contractors, so to say, for the animations, the music and stuff like that to get that finished.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's like really fun because I get to work with my best friend, and at the same
Nice.
time we have like all the help we need with contractors and stuff to get things finished. Um, so yeah, and the name Soup Masters, it's a very interesting origin story, but kind of what what it means is like this metaphor of like, oh yeah, we're cooking something up and we have this
Love that.
metaphorical pot of soup, which is like just a blend of different personalities and things and characters, which is very representative of what big boy boxing is. It's like a lot of different characters and like a soup of characters and personalities.
I love
But
that. I love that because
yeah,
soup is such a comfort food, right? So you guys are cooking something special.
yeah, but
Facts.
the actual like origin of the name has nothing to do with this actually. So uh, I think I'm gonna keep it a
Nice.
secret for a while what the actual
Oh,
origin is. But
gotcha.
some of our first fans, like our first fans, might know this, like might know it. But yeah, see if we'll see if someone can figure it out, like why we're called that.
Martin, we can't start like this with you keeping secrets from us. You gotta tell us.
Yeah,
Oh,
of
no,
course.
that's all right. Oh, that's funny. Nah, it's all good. It's all good. All right. So okay, so that's dope. Love the origin story. So obviously, the two of you, I can only assume you started making the game before you guys got involved with any publishing partner, right? Like, so you started making the game and then you got involved. So how was it like? How'd you come up with the idea? Like, what are your inspirations? What kind of motivated you to do this? And how was it, before and after having, a publisher or somebody to help with the game?
Yeah, I mean, it's a long story. In some regards, it's a very long story, and in some regards, a pretty concise story because this is our first game that me and Ludwig, either of us, are making. So it's we really don't have a lot of experience with game development at all. This is our first project, but
Awesome.
kind of how we came to the idea of big boy boxing. It like we tried to make another game before this, and it's always been about characters for me and Ludwig. Like it's
Yeah.
we actually met each other. Um, I think it's called high school in
Oh, wow. Yeah.
US.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like when you're like 15, 16, 17, 18.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
High school.
Exactly. And we
What
were
do you
like the
guys call
first.
it? Just I mean,
Yes,
just to
so
be
we
clear, so
know.
we can learn.
Yeah, it's called gymnasiet. So yeah.
Oh, okay. So that wasn't gonna help us. Got it. Got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
Understood.
You
Understood.
know, it's funny. I was gonna try to repeat it, but I
No, no,
probably
no, no, no.
I'm
We're
gonna
good. We're good.
butcher. I'm gonna butcher
Yeah,
Yeah,
it.
yeah. We understand.
and and like high school, if you say that in Swedish, it's like högskola, and I think it's like högskola is like what comes after high school in US. I think, yeah.
Oh, okay.
so
Gotcha.
so so it's
College,
very
college,
confusing. Exactly, I
college or
think.
university is what they call it out here.
Yeah, yeah. But either way, like we never really, like we didn't really like each other at all at first.
Oh,
Like we were like,
nice. Good.
yeah, we're like he was like, yeah, I'm never gonna talk to this guy, and I was like, I'm never gonna talk to that guy.
Wow.
But we bonded over making video games. Like we just started talking about like a video game with like these characters. Like, oh, what if we make a Super Smash Bros. Type characters with all these characters we have in mind? We'll make a character like this and this and this, and it all was, we kind of bonded over creating characters. That's everything. Kind of like we're like, oh, this character that does this thing and this thing, and let's say a character like Freezy Boy, which is this one of the characters, the first characters you'll encounter in the game. He's really persisted from the beginning, and just evolved and become a more defined character, so to say. But what we tried first was to make a Super Smash Bros. Type game. So it's like, a platform fighter like that was so popular in high school at that time, where these fighting games and things, and we wanted to make our own kind of take on that and be kind of popular, so to say, by making a Super Smash Bros. Type game. And we did
Nice.
succeed into making one with these characters, and it was definitely a hit in the school. Like a lot of people were looking forward to for that game to be released. But after a while, we kind of realized there were so many good fighting games and Super Smash Bros. Type fighting games. So we were like, we're not gonna make it like making this type of game. So I pitched to Ludwig, let's convert our game, with our characters. We keep the characters, but we convert this from a Super Smash Bros, like sideways, this platform fighter, into a
Yep.
Punch
Yep.
Out like game. Because then we can focus on, in Punch Out, you have this very front view perspective of the
Yep.
bosses, and
Yes.
in the Super Smash type game, it's very much like, oh, it has to be competitive, it has to be fun for both players, and so to say. So we just wanted to focus on the characters more. So I pitched him the Punch Out idea. I was like, oh, and let's fuse some Cuphead into this, and he was
Nice.
definitely a bit hesitant at first, but because it was like, does this mean we have to remake all, because he does the animations, and was like, does this mean we have to remake all the animation? I'm like, yeah. and but I promised him, I made him like a timeline and everything. I was like, it's only going to take us like 2 months to make this game, and that was like 2.5 years ago.
Nice,
Oh,
Or
nice. You know what? You're good with the projections
the
for sure.
lies. The lies. No, I'm so happy that you guys kept the characters. The characters are so original.
Yeah, they
And
are.
I do feel it's funny because when we were there, I do get that element of like Cuphead. It's a great game. And it's nice to know that you've wanted to make video games, I guess, for like ever, right? You've always known that at some point in your life you wanted to make games?
yeah, I mean, I always knew that. So knew that very early on. Um, So yeah, it's I've definitely like there's obviously been a lot of time in when I was even younger than I am now, but like when I just made fun things and like tried to make video games and stuff. I think officially when I made my first video game, I think it was 9 or 10.
Oh, wow.
But
Wow.
when the kind of introduction I had into the kind of the industry, so to say, would be through yeah, that was a few years later, but that was with Minecraft. So I made like Minecraft plugins and mods for people. And first I just did it for fun, so to say, and hosted my own servers. And that actually was profitable. Like we made like, you know, for that age, like we got maybe a few $100s a month, and that was like a
Wow.
lot of money for us back then. But
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, and then I kind of and that kind of at the end, like that survived for a few like maybe a year or something like that. But then I started looking at like just lending my programming skills to making these plugins and mods for other servers and other creators, and that's when I started to kind of make video games is through mods and plugins for Minecraft. And
That's awesome.
yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
yeah, so that was a very fun period in my life because yeah, I got to play Minecraft and make money, so to say.
That's
That's a
pretty
win-win,
awesome. So
man.
so you're like self-taught, right? That's a very young age to know how to do all of these things, right?
Yeah, I mean, I give a lot of props to Google and YouTube to helping me like learn that. But yeah, it's I did go to like the high school was a programming high school, so to say. But yeah, it's I never had to really focus or even like I actually got to skip the entire year of programming lessons and just had to come at the final like tests, so to say. And
Nice.
so yeah, it was I've never really been taught programming. It's all been self-taught. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Good on you, good on you. So Big Boy Boxing, you guys got started and, you started this other game, which at some point, now that you're out here and we all know about you, we're gonna have to see that other game at some point, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Some video, some footage, the game, whatever, some way. Um, but you guys started the game. Obviously, that was you thought it was gonna be 2 months, took 2.5 years to get to where you are now. At what point does Joystick Ventures get involved? Like, at what point do you have this type of interest coming from, a publisher?
Yeah, I mean, it's um well, so it kind of maybe it's also a bit longer than 2.5 years now when I'm thinking about it, but it's what but yeah, like there was a period where we were like, just trying to at that time we just called it like Punch Heroes or something like that. It wasn't Big Boy Boxing yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, we saw initially like we just posted like one tweet or one Reddit post, and we saw that this post got more traction than all of our other posts on the previous project combined, and we're like,
Oh,
we're onto
wow.
something. We're onto
Yeah.
something, and like we thought, this is cool. We need some money to finish the game. We need a composer. We need this and that because at the start of the project, it was literally just me and Ludwig, so we had no resources to create any music, sound effects, or anything we needed. We're like, oh, if we need this like small asset from Unity, it's going to cost us a lot of money, so to say. So we ended up seeing Ludwig actually found some like here in Sweden. There's a lot of how to call it government funded organizations,
Yeah.
and one of them is called
That's cool.
Sweden Game Arena, and they help they help the people with good game ideas to become I think it's called LLC. Here in Sweden, it's aktiebolag, but it's basically like a company. They help you form a company. I mean, you still have to pay it and everything, but they help you make sure that you have a good business plan, you have a good idea, and they help you like with that stuff. We
Nice.
actually applied like I think a week too late or something like that, but they still accepted us because they really
Oh, that's
liked
amazing.
us and our
Nice.
idea.
That's
And
awesome.
that, yeah, that was the first step into like getting a publisher, and because they help you get on these, pitches, these events, and these stuff, and they kind of, also tell you like, what is a good publisher deal and what is a bad publisher deal.
That's dope.
And yeah, we got a lot of publishers interested in the project, but we ended up signing with Joystick Ventures.
Awesome. That's also so what about them stood out to you as different? I mean, first of all, we've met a couple of people who are from Joystick Ventures. We had um,
Andrea?
Andrea, which is our homie. We
Yes.
met her over
She's
there. She's super
amazing.
dope, super amazing. In fact, she's gonna be here next week. We're gonna have her on the show
Yes.
to talk about the Joystick Ventures and what they're doing. But so I could see that part. But what like stood out to you um that was different? Like, you don't have to
What
get
was the
into like
driving
obviously you don't have to
force?
get
There's
into
so
like
many out
the
there.
minutia of it, but like was there anything stand out, that you looked at one place and looked at them and you're like, you know what, they stand out for these reasons.
Yeah, well, for us, it was a lot of factors, playing in. We really wanted to get things going, so to say, like, because we were like, oh, we've looked at so many publishers now, and we're like, oh, we just want to get started with the game again. Because during that period, after we joined Sweden Game Arena, it was like, oh, now we're like 95% of our time is doing business stuff and talking to publishers and doing that and doing this document, not actually
Yeah,
working on the game. So we were like, oh, let's get it started, and Joystick, just we had a very good impression of the people there. It was like a very tight, small team, and we just thought that the way things were set up were interesting for us. So we just went with it, and yeah.
huh, and how has that changed? Obviously, aside from now allowing you to work on the game, just you guys in general, right? Like there's a difference between working and hustling and not knowing, what's gonna come from it. And then, now you have somebody who's showing you interest as a publisher. I mean, it's a big deal to have a publisher, right? Like
Absolutely.
we just had this amazing group of developers on our show. From they're making the game Crystalla, which is a Souls-like game, and it's amazing. And they have not been able to get a publisher. They're all self-published, right? Because they can't get one. So to get one is a big deal, right? Like that's not a small thing. You have something that's special that hit the right notes. So how has that changed you and Lidvik? Is that what it is? Lidvik?
Ludwig, yeah.
Ludwig, close. You and Ludwig's like how you guys are handling it, your motivation. Like, do you feel more pumped, more motivated to do more? Like, how has that really changed for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's still like a lot of things other than because both me and Ludwig, because we're very like, we we very much function like a micro studio. We like to be very hands on with the project, and we are. But it is a lot, still like a lot of things. Even when you have publishers and you have funding and these stuff, it's hard to. It's still a lot of things to do, like with your company and with relationships and business stuff, and yeah, like it's still like you have to be able to multitask, so to say. But
Right.
the big thing is like now we can work with and work with all these contractors and interesting people that we just never had
access to.
accessibility too. Yeah, and like for example, just I mean, I'm sure he wouldn't mind if I name dropped him, but like it's this animator that I'm not gonna name him, but it's this animator we're working with, which is so talented, and he's worked on major Disney movies in the past. Like we're
Oh,
talking
wow.
like Lion King and Lilo and Stitch, Beauty and the Beast, I think, and a lot of different titles, which were like these are childhood favorite movies, and this
Yeah,
guy worked on
absolutely.
that. Um, and yeah, so it's definitely like like it's hard to produce a game, like even making like a mediocre or bad game is hard because there's so many moving parts. But yeah, Big Boy Boxing is looking like we're if this is what we thought, like the game we're shipping, if we thought, this is the game we would have made at the beginning of this all, you know, we would have been like no, that's impossible.
Yes.
Yeah. But
Yes.
obviously as a creator, you're always like, you have like we have endless ideas for boxers and creative scenarios. So it hurts to kind of say, oh, we have to remove this feature, we have to remove this character or something like that. Um but yeah, there's always, a project after this project also. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, for sure. Um, so why don't you, because we got into your background, we got into the why of the game, what's going on with you as a studio, what's going on with you after being public or having a publisher. Why don't you give your pitch on the game? What is the game? Describe the game. What does it mean to you
What makes it
guys? Like, what makes
special?
it special to you guys? Give us some, give us a nice little a wrap up of that.
Yeah, well, Big Boy Boxing, in a sentence, is a slapstick boss rush game where every fight comes with a punchline. Basically, we took Cuphead, Punch Out, Looney Tunes cartoons, and
Nice.
blended them in a mixer and heated it up to become, a very savory, unpredictable soup in a good way.
Yes. Yeah, because I can tell you right now, when we played it, that was immediately, like, what we felt. Like, it was so fun. It was hard, but it was
Yes.
fun, and the animations were wild. Like, it was wild. It was so funny, a lot of stuff that you guys had going on, um, and I can see why getting involved with those, with that new animator is probably gonna be huge for you guys from what we saw because just without him, I mean, the animation work is so very good, right? Like, it sells what you're doing in the game so well. I can only imagine, what well, let me ask you this because 'cause I'm saying this in this way, but is he coming in did he come in and help with some existing animations, or is he adding animations? Or
A
both?
little bit, yeah, a little bit of both. But when it comes to like these, and this guy, it's like we have to use him very strategically, on what
Gotcha.
animations would give us the most, so to say. But yeah, like there's definitely like those seven bosses available on the demo.
Yep.
Obviously, those were like I very much like them, but there's so much more that we haven't showed that is like it's gonna be super cool. And yeah, for us, like if we can, like we probably will show this, but like the first kind of free like the first animations looking at what we will ship, it's like it's evolved so much. Like we've not only like evolved as artists, and but we've also like just had more budgets to, like make new iterations of the animations. But yeah, we we also have to like set a stop for that because we always become better and better and better. So we have to make sure that we kind of make a consistent level of quality throughout all the bosses. So we might do some basically touch up on the first seven that we made, um,
Nice.
so that they're as good as the the other bosses.
And see, money, you did mention the game being difficult, but it is gradually difficult, right? Like it gets there, and there's such a strategy to it to figure out how to go around it, right? How to go ahead and figure out
I
how you're
finally
gonna
beat
take
these
these
people
bosses out.
'cause they're wild,
It
man.
tell it they are wild. Like
They're wild.
we were playing, and it's a fun way of wild. I do love the way you guys did this. I was like, did they just hit me with a pillow from the side? Like
Yeah, yo.
we were laughing so much. Like it was so fun. It's a difficult game. It has that,
That one
build
more
up.
try itch, you know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Like, "Oh, no, I gotta do it. Come on, no.
I can do better. Let
Oh
me
my
do
god, I'm
more.
so
Yes.
close." It's great, it's great. Yeah, you guys
It really
are
is.
killing it.
Yeah.
So, alright, so this game, it's a boss rush, so you're gonna play, back to back to back to back. Um, is there any like, it's a single player game, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Correct, okay. So, is there any plan in the future for maybe doing some like, a multiplayer version of it where you could just both be there side to side, looking at each other, beating each other's ass?
Yeah. So um, going back to kind of where the game stems from, our initial idea is this Super Smash Bros. Type fighters, like fighting
Yes.
game. So
Yep.
we always wanted to make like a versus mode where you can kind of,
Mm,
fight against each other.
yes,
That's one of the things where, I mean, nothing is kind of set in stone, and there's a
of
lot of
course.
moving parts to this. But yeah, we wanted to make like a versus mode kind of, but we'll see, how I mean, I'm sure some people would like it, but when you're kind of put in a situation where it's like, oh, should we make this mode, or do we add three more boss fights? And probably what's gonna, what most players would enjoy most is those extra three boss fights instead of an
Facts.
extra mode. But if the game is a hit, we will definitely look into it again, because I mean, we love the idea of being able, like me and Ludwig, to fight against each other and see who comes out.
Yes.
So that
Yes.
competitiveness is still there, like, from when, from
That's the
high school
itch.
when you guys kind of, didn't like each other. You take him out every once in a while.
Yeah, no,
Just
no, like
show him who's better than who.
yeah, no, we're very, 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 very close friends.
That's
That's
So,
amazing.
awesome.
but
That's
yeah, just
awesome.
the initial like way we saw each other like was funny, because he
Yeah.
told me like afterwards, like, yeah, I was like never gonna talk to you like ever. I'm like, I feel the same. So
That's wild. That's wild. So,
but
like, the nice thing about the, idea of doing multiplayer, by the way, is the fact that I feel like I can already see it, like, it's just 2 vertical slots right next to each other,
yeah,
put, like, a big versus in the middle, right? And you just each side is beating each other's ass. That'll be so dope. Oh, man. The game's gonna do amazing. Alright, I
And,
know it.
yeah, I
So,
agree. And a
get ready
tap
to
in
yes.
add.
too, because so that it, 2 people can play together because, C Money probably needs my
Oh,
assistance.
how dope would that be? A tag team mode against some of these crazy ass bosses. Oh, man, that would be dope too. Look at that. You see? All
Yeah.
listen, you don't have to cite us, all right? We know. Later on, you add it, it'll be great. It'll be great. Um, all right, so now the game looks dope, plays dope. Very, very excited for it. Um, obviously, we talked a little bit about the actual you know the game as it is, but for you guys, what is that process like making a game? You said this was your first game, you didn't really know what you were doing, right? You did the other one, but this is like your real endeavor with all this stuff. Like, how is that process for you? Like, you're like actually making the game. Like, is it what you thought it would be? Is it harder? Is it easier?
The magic part, so to say, are and the hard parts, which were the things I thought were the hard parts, were actually like the fun and easy parts, so to say. I mean, it's still like very hard work, but it's like the things we struggle with most is the things which when you as a consumer play a game feel like the obvious things is can be a bit hard to do, and the things yeah like just um yeah like it's definitely I think overall more challenging than we thought because there's so much factors which you do not consider when you make a game for a hobby, so to say, which we started off as, and actually want to like finish a game. It's very hard to finish anything because then you have to be satisfied. And just our community knows that we've changed the art style of the game like I don't know 4 or 5 times. We're never satisfied with our own efforts, so that's something we have to learn is to be satisfied with like oh we have to like just go with this style or go with this design or go with this mechanic, so to say, and stop iterating. um,
Mm,
but yeah like finishing stuff like actually writing code is for example like an fun and easy and relaxing thing, but actually knowing what you want to code and how to structure it can be a more you know can require a lot of time. So and when it comes to animations, I think that's the place we had the most headaches um because we animate everything on 25 frames per second, so that's every second of animations there's 25 images, if I said
mm.
that correctly, yeah. And there's just not only just a lot of things to draw, but also getting that into the engine. Like you have to have these, like you have, let's say you have an animation which is 2 seconds long. That's 50 frames, like 50 cells, or like, yeah, 50 frames. And then if you have like 10 layers, that means like for every layer times the amount of frames, you have a cell. And there's just a lot of things needed to be imported to the game engine. And the Unity game engine at the start of the project it didn't really support this in a good way. So
Wow.
the absolutely first demo we had, we have to manually import everything. And actually, or I did write like a importer, which it took my computer at that time like 8 hours to render the files because of the
Wow.
inefficiency which my algorithm was. The same animation today with our system takes like 1 second. So it's been a
Get out of here.
so
8
Wow.
hours versus like a second? Jesus. That's
yeah
crazy.
it was basically an problem where what's it called? Like it's upphöjt mad. It's like to the power of like yeah, it's um
Like an
like it's
exponential?
yeah, exactly. Thank you. Exponentially more difficult task where when you had like longer animations with that system, and we eliminated that problem now. But actually getting this just to work was like yeah, just getting the animations into the engine was like one big task for us at the time, and we were
Yeah, that
not
sounds
willing to make
difficult.
any changes. Yeah, like when the render time was like that long, we didn't want to make any changes, and if we did any changes, we wanted to batch them together. So iteration took a lot of time or a lot of thinking. But now it's like, oh, we just make a change and it's
That's
instantly
awesome.
reflected, basically.
And you're still using Unity, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So it's
we
just
are.
they've updated Unity on their end to work better?
Yeah, like the fun thing is like, oh, we put a lot of time into making our own systems, and then Unity comes out with an official solution, which is like just as good or in some regards better than our own. So we're like, oh, that's interesting. We're kind of ironic.
All that work for nothing. Nah, well, I mean,
So
you had to get there, you know?
because
Yeah.
of the technological leaps and how eager are you to move into your next game and your next adventure, knowing that it would be just that much easier to go ahead and put your thoughts and what you want to do with your next game, and see it come into reality.
Yeah, I mean, For us, it's always going to be about the characters and kind of the character comedy, so to say. So before we even know what kind of game we want to do, it's going to be like, oh, we have to first create like a cast of characters, because it's all that's the thing which we kind of, that's the reason why we're doing this. Is kind of like we want to make these characters alive, and we're probably going to find a game which fits the characters, so to say. And yeah, like with Big Boy Boxing, I think we have like so many characters and rematches and ideas which we just won't be able, they won't make it into the game. So we'll see what we do with those ideas.
So one thing that I never quite understood, um, and maybe this is gonna be something that you guys break the mold of, but like you go and you put all this energy into making these phenomenal characters who are hilarious and funny and each have so much personality. And then, other people have made games with good characters, and then the game ends, and then they make a new game and it's all starting over. Why the flying crap have we not just had, okay, you have 40 characters. Now maybe we can take those characters and put them in a platformer, right? Where we can go and have a game that you can pick from a cast of characters, and then maybe the other characters are enemies or bosses or whatever in that type of
So
game.
what you mean,
Or
uh, kind of use the love that
basically like
people
what
have
Nintendo
developed for
does.
the characters and continue on that path.
Listen, Nintendo does it all the time, right? Mario is in he's a plumber, he's a baseball player, he's a professional tennis player, he's football, he's done everything. Like you have all
Yeah.
these amazing characters. You can make a platformer, you can make a kart racer, like a cool, like what I'm saying? Like there's so much that you could do. you know, why scrap the characters to start new unless you have these other, I mean, you can still make new characters to put with them. I mean, what do you feel about this? Do you think like there's a world where these characters live on outside of Big Boy Boxing and maybe go because they already did that, right? That's the legacy. They're in another game, or at least some of them are,
Yeah.
right? That we don't
Yeah.
know about. So I'm just saying, what do you think? Is that a possibility in life, or do you
No,
think,
that's definitely a possibility. Yeah, no, I definitely see these characters as characters, and I have for practically all the characters. Like I would know, I, uh, I could easily judge if a fan, for example, has makes a small comic strip or whatever. Like if this would be accurate or not. Like this is something they would do in their usual
or do
day
you
or
have a
something like
like a
that.
backstory or who they are
Yeah,
outside of
and
Big Boy Boxing?
exactly, and who they could be, so to say, at certain points in time or whatever. So definitely, these are characters which we try to. Well, all these characters are based on I mean, from everything from like kind of heroes maybe of ours, or like funny characters, or just real persons that we kind of know, which obviously it's not like it's our understandings of those people or like those situations, but yeah, like these are like, yeah, I think very fully fledged characters, and I think they would definitely work in a situation outside of Big Boy Boxing. Yeah.
I feel like Big Boy is the naming, right?
Yes.
So, like, you could
Yeah.
do Big Boy Racing, Big Boy Tennis, shit, you could do Big Boy Ping Pong, right? Like, there's so much I feel like you could do. Actually, if you think about this, if you take your 2 characters, right, that you have one facing, one looking, and you just push them away further and add a table in the middle, you got Big Boy Ping Pong. You know what I'm saying?
Big boy
Yeah.
ping pong, big boy tennis. That's
I tell you.
awesome. How did you settle? Like, how was it, getting to the name? When did you guys say, "Okay, this is the name. This is what we're going with. We're happy."
Yeah, I just thought, I'm trying to remember exactly like all the names we kind of have, but it's just like I thought, was pretty stupid. I was just like thought we should probably have something which is the acronym is easy to remember. So I was like, boxing, and first it wasn't even boxing. First it was like punch, like punch, heroes, punch, star, punch, blah blah. Everything just sounded like too generic Android mobile game. So we're like, oh, let's have something that has an acronym which is very easy and distinct, and kind of big boy. I thought that was a fun expression when big boy pants. Like
Yep, love
I
it.
think I think where I got that expression from is from an American TV show, Breaking Bad.
Mm,
Um, One of my
nice.
favorite shows, and in the first episode, there's like these bullies which tells the character's son like, "Oh, your big boy pants," and like,
Put your big
so
boy
I got
pants
big
on.
boy and then boxing, and also I think I tried to make something with like sound close to Breaking Bad. I think because I really just loved the show at that time. So yeah, that's how he came to big boy boxing was that American expression of being a big boy or pulling up your big boy pants, and that together with boxing, just big boy boxing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Love it. Now, I know, like, listen, you guys, this game is phenomenal. Is going to start being more and more places. I know this is a big week for the game. I know that I believe today you guys are going to show up in the OTK festival later today. Is that correct? I think so. Um, actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think we're going to stream that show.
Yes.
I think it's at 3 p.m. today, Eastern time. You guys are going to be in the Gorilla Collective on the 6th, IGN Live on the 7th, the Future Game Show and the 8th, and the Steam Next Fest, the summer edition from the 10th to the 17th. Woo, you guys
That's
are
amazing.
That's a
Congrats.
lot
rocking.
of things, yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
like we're very involved in making all the kind of the assets for the game, and like these stuff. But yeah, Joystick handles all the events, so all
That's dope.
props to them for kind of getting us into all these amazing
That's
shows.
amazing, bro.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I know there's something very special waiting on the OTK show, so just yeah, definitely watch that one.
That well, we should be streaming it, so I think
Yeah.
we'll be live
Watch it
for it. So
together.
that's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome. So I have two questions here before we go, and get to the next part before the show's over. We have our fun questions coming, but Becca, our homie RSJ fan,
Shout out to Becca.
says, "Will this be coming to Xbox?" So we know it's coming to Steam for sure, but are there plans for console? Are they plans specifically where Xbox might be involved?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's I I know that there definitely is plans for all the major consoles because it's very,
Nice.
it's a but I think the priority will be obviously PC, and then
Yep.
after that Switch. But yeah,
Nice.
definitely Xbox and also PlayStation are definitely on the map. I think it's more of a time thing, like when is it going to be on Xbox and PlayStation? Switch and is I think going to be a bit more prioritized just because it's just a perfect fit for that console.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Agreed. Agreed. But it is good to know that eventually, hopefully, the game will come elsewhere, which is dope as
So
well.
everyone can enjoy it.
Uh, and then, Donnie B puts out there, have CMoney, Doodle, DLC in the game. I don't know. It could be
Just
you could have
saying.
characters
Just saying.
with the hidden boss, what I'm saying? Throw somewhere, maybe in the crowd. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm just
maybe
saying.
that's yeah.
Never know, never know. Um, no, but yeah. So listen, we're very excited for this game. We're definitely gonna be doing content on it as soon as there's more for us to play and be involved
Absolutely.
in. We're very, very excited for it. So Definitely keep a lookout for that. Any last things you want to say before we move to our fun questions in our rapid fire round? Any last thing you want to say about the game or what you have going on or anything like that?
Just make sure to add Big Boy Boxing to your wish list on Steam, and
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
look out for very exciting news this coming week and up to the release of the game,
Awesome.
whenever that is.
And when is the oh, whenever that is. Yeah. So
Yeah,
we don't have a release date yet. Do we have a time frame?
I mean, it's. I think I just don't want to say anything I can't say, so to say, but
Right.
it's definitely something which it's. Um, Maybe you can ask Andrea at that
Andrea,
next.
yeah,
Yeah,
Andrea.
but yeah,
So do you know if it's
just
like
keep your eyes peeled.
2024 is the goal, or do you think it can roll into
Oh
2025
no,
maybe?
yeah, we've said already it's 2024. So
Okay,
yeah,
okay. So sometime this year, we got
yeah,
6 months left. There's only so much time, so we're good. All right.
exactly.
It's
Yeah,
coming, it's coming. Awesome, awesome. All right, now, thank you again for doing this, man. This was awesome. Let's get our fun going, and then, we'll go game and see where you come in. Are you ready?
You froze. See,
Who
you
froze?
did. There you go. You're back.
now you're back.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know. So, all right, these are fun questions. You ready?
Okay,
Okay.
let's go.
You didn't answer, and I said, "Okay," but that's okay. Uh, if you could travel back in time and meet one historical figure, who would it be and why?
Oh,
Oh, um, mm, uh, is this the timed one or is this
No, 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 this is just
no?
regular
This one.
fun
Oh,
fun questions, fun questions.
I mean, I don't know. Oh, Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
nice.
Look at that, right on point too with the
Yes.
boxing. You know what? I didn't ask you. You're making a boxing game. Obviously, you transitioned to boxing. Were you a boxing fan at all? Did you like
I mean,
actual boxing?
I've went to a couple boxing class, or no, not a couple, one,
Oh,
but
nice, nice.
no, I haven't really. Like, I'm not a good boxer. I'm not a good fight. I think I've taken a few hits, but yeah, I'm not that good of a fighter. There's a reason why I'm making a game about boxing and not actually
Got
boxing.
it, got it, got it, got it.
But
Alright,
That's
that makes
Ludwig
sense.
has
awesome.
done some. Ludwig, my colleague or friend, whatever. It's he's on kickboxing, so it's not the same thing. But yeah.
Nice. Alright, dope, dope. Go ahead,
If
baby
you
girl.
had to choose one superpower, what would it be and how would you use it?
Oh, that's a fun one. I think flying. Yeah, it's a I think one of the most popular ones or to say, but yeah, that'd be fun. Or like kind of Superman, you know, powers. I guess I would fly to like explore all the planets. I think that's super cool. Like the unknown planets. I would find a way, like a superpower, so I can explore those. Yeah.
I like
That's
that.
dope. That's dope. Alright. If you had to sing a duet with any singer, who would you choose and what song would you sing?
Uh, yeah, it's a fun question. Yeah, I'm gonna say Joost Klein. Um,
Jules Klein.
he's a rapper from the Netherlands. Um,
Oh, that's
yeah,
dope.
What
I like
song?
that. What song?
Europapa.
Your one of his songs?
Yeah, yeah.
Dope.
It's there's this contest called Eurovision Song Contest, and he was going to represent Netherlands, but he got disqualified, and I was super sad about that. So yeah, I
That
would
sucks.
duet that with him.
Wow, that
Nice.
sucks.
If you could swap places with any celebrity for a day, who would it be and why?
Like swap places, as in become them, or like just swap to their position.
Become
Well,
them
meaning
for
meaning you're them
24
for a
hours.
day.
Oh, that's a very interesting one. Um, hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Um, I mean, hmm. Tim, I think, yeah, Tim Schafer. I think. I mean, I think he's an amazing game developer. So,
From Double
um,
Fine?
yeah, exactly. Like, just
Nice.
there's a lot of inspirations there from just kind of his work and his characters. I think he has very strong characters, and he's very fun. You know, like the um, I think Psychonauts 2 was one of my favorite games that year. And it was like during the heyday kind of big boy boxing. So it would be interesting to see what he's up to, like what his next game is.
Oh, I like
Oh,
that.
nice.
I like
We
that.
can't wait either, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome. Go ahead, baby
Go
girl.
ahead, see.
No, I'm the one who asked. Did you ask it? Oh, snap. All right. If you won the lottery, what is the first thing that you would buy or do with the money? Caveat, you done all the nice things. You know what I'm saying? You helped everybody, you took care of everybody, you donated, you did all your stuff, you pay for your game or you give your money, whatever. But what is the selfish thing? The selfish thing that's
So
only for you. That's only for you was the first thing that you're gonna do with the money.
um, that's interesting. No, I think what I would do is just travel. I mean I would travel around Europe and the
Nice.
US. And I don't think I would like traveling as in like, just backpack traveling with the train. And in the US, I don't know how the train system's there, but I think I would do I would bike, like just buy a good bike and bike around the US. I think that would be a fun challenge.
Listen, there's some places you cannot go bike riding
No, no.
in the
But,
US,
like, bike or,
especially not
like
with a good bike.
yeah,
You know what I'm
but bike,
saying?
bike.
No,
Yeah, well, my father actually
Motorcycle.
he in the 80s he biked around the entire world and including the US. So
oh,
it's
wow.
it's possible, but he is a in some regards a madman. So
Nice.
uh,
So he went everywhere and just rode his so it's like a bicycle or like a motorcycle?
No, a motorcycle,
no,
right?
no, like a bicycle, like
Like you
no,
pedal.
Like a pedaling
yeah,
Like you
yeah, yeah,
pedal.
bicycle?
yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Wow.
See?
uh,
Yeah,
Alright.
man.
Well, yeah, okay.
Facts. Um, okay, your turn, baby girl.
If you could travel to any video game world, where would you go and what would you do there?
big boy boxing world.
Ooh,
Yes.
uh,
nice. That's what I like to
yeah,
hear.
Let's go.
yeah.
But now we gotta see that world. Now you got confirmed open world, but big boy boxing games next.
Yeah,
Just
but other than that, I think yeah, actually I just wouldn't know. Other than that, to be honest, it was like I have so many favorite games, but the big boy boxing world is a very fun place. Like yeah,
bro, it just came to me. You gotta make a Pokemon style big boy boxing where
well,
you
I would
just
love that. Yeah.
travel the world, you're trying to go fight these ones, so you're, like, fighting people on the streets, you know what I'm saying, to get good, and then you finally get enough cred to go fight the
Get to
boss.
fight the big boss. I like
Oh,
that.
man.
Yeah,
Yes.
sounds
I'm
awesome.
digging it. God damn, you see? The game's already here. We gotta make it happen. I love it. Listen, just let them know. I'm always available. We're available here at On Point for ideas and suggestions, okay? Alright,
Awesome.
final question before our rapid fire round. Alright. If you had to eat one food
Let's
for the
go.
rest of your life, what would it be and why?
Hmm. Well, I'm gonna have to say, I mean, I'm obligated to say some kind of soup because we're soup masters. I mean that's not my first
Nice.
or second or third or fourth choice, but yeah, mushroom soup. Yeah,
Oh, yes.
yeah,
I like that.
but
That's pretty
yeah,
good.
I mean, I don't really like mushroom soup, but I kind of feel obligated to say that.
Oh my god. That's funny.
So
What?
with the name aside, what would it
Yeah.
be
Oh,
personally for
yes.
you?
There's so much good food. I think the yeah, I mean probably salmon, lux
Salmon?
salmon, the fish. Yeah, yeah. There's
Nice.
yeah, here in like the Norwegian salmon, so it's super good, and yeah.
That's awesome.
Perfect.
Awesome.
So G
All right.
Baby has some advice for you. G Baby says it would be pretty dangerous cycling to a lot of places.
Yeah. I think your father did it in the
Yeah,
right time. You know what I'm saying? I think he did it in the right time.
yeah.
All right. So we did it. Now we got the rapid fire round, but as far as all the questions, we're done. Soup Masters fucking is an awesome studio. And Martin, thank you so much for being
Thank
here. We
you.
appreciate you, bro. Now it's game time. Are you
Yes.
ready?
Let's
We gotta
go.
set the stage. We gotta set the stage. There we go. We need some music. It's going down. There we go. Okay. Now you see over here, we got our stage. Okay. You look over on that side of the screen, you see the score. Okay. Score is 20 correct for Kyle Creamer, 19 for Sean Holiday, 18 for Seamus Blackley, 17 for Sarah and Alexis, and 11 for Ben Cavallo. Okay. Now, they all chose to do the heavyweight version of this game. Okay. So there's a choice, though. There's a heavyweight and a lightweight. Okay. Lightweight. Very simple. These are all questions that you got to answer, right? But there's different styles of questions in the lightweight category. So you'll have yes or no questions. You'll have either or questions like this or that. And then you'll have questions that you have to come up with the answers on your own. Okay. The heavyweight version of this is going to be there's only one type of question that is there. And they're all questions that you just have to answer on your own. No yes or no's, no either ors. Just we ask the question, you give the answer. Okay. So which version do you want to do? The heavyweight or the lightweight?
I'm a big boy, so it's got to be heavyweight.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yes.
All right. All right. It's goal time. It's goal time. Okay. So very simple. There's going to be a little timer that pops up on the screen that is going to just tick, 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 right? It's going to be 60 seconds countdown. Don't look at it. Don't pay attention. Just focus on answering as quickly as possible. That's all you got to do. You hear a question, you answer the question immediately. Okay. Now, the one thing that is a nice little bonus at the end is if we get to the last question and the timer buzzes. If I've asked like half the question already, that is actually still going to count. So that will be your final point in the game, and then you can answer that one. All right. But I have to had already started, the question. And with that, it's go time. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's go.
I gotta get ready too because this is teamwork here. Hey, it's teamwork. Okay. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Favorite gaming genre.
Boss Rush game.
Favorite show as a child.
Breaking Bad.
What's your favorite number?
3.
Favorite subject in school.
Math.
Favorite gaming console of all time.
Nintendo DS.
Favorite song.
Europapa.
Your celebrity crush.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Favorite cereal.
Reese's Puffs.
If you could be an animal, which animal would you be?
Cow.
Favorite color.
Red.
Favorite book.
Lord of the Rings.
Favorite game of all time.
Punch Out.
Favorite superhero.
Spider-Man.
First job you ever had.
Programmer.
Favorite movie genre.
Horror.
Favorite fast food restaurant.
KFC.
KFC. All right. You think that?
that,
You think?
that was fast.
It was. It went quite quick, right?
Yeah.
Doodle,
Yes.
do you have the official correct score?
Oh, okay. Yes, I do see money. You mess up one time.
All right. Let's go ahead and see if he's made it on the scoreboard, which technically, there's one more slot. But let's see.
You've made it to 5th place with 16.
16 points.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
You did beat
Nice.
Ben.
You
Ben
beat
Cavallo.
Ben.
The sweet 16.
Sweet
Yes.
16. Look at that. That's awesome, man. Good
Now,
job.
I do
Good
have
job.
a follow-up question.
Yep.
What's the
What
follow-up?
animal would you be? A cow?
A cow. Look at that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just that was the first thing that popped in my head.
Smart. That's the way to answer it. Okay.
Yes.
That's the way you do the game for sure.
Yeah.
But this was an important one. Okay, Martin, because you have officially filled up our board.
Yes.
So now, from now on, anybody who comes on the show is either going to
Not make it to the board?
not make it to the board or make it on the board.
Or
And if
knock
they make
someone
it on the
out.
board, that means they knock someone out. So now we're going to be getting into aggressive territory where people are getting removed. You know what I'm saying? So
Ouch.
listen,
Yeah.
you're on 5th place. It's a good number for now. Hopefully it lasts. But
Yeah.
that was a great show. That was a good
That
job.
was
That was a
awesome.
good job.
Great
All
job.
right. Let's swap out of here and wrap up. Man, Martin,
Thank you
this
so
was
much for
very, very
rocking out
cool
with
of
us.
you. Thank you so much for doing this show with us. It was very fun. We appreciate you. Again, the game is Big Boy Boxing. Check out our video on it that's live right now. You have to go. It's when we were doing PAX footage, so just go down there. We have a playlist for it, so go in and find it. It's dope. We will be doing the OTK show today. We'll be streaming that. I believe it's at 3 p.m. Eastern. So you'll see the game there. And then as soon as we can, we will be making some content for the game. We're very excited for it. So with that, Martin, thanks again.
Thank you so much.
Really appreciate you.
The pleasure is all mine.
Yeah, man. And everybody in the chat, thank you for rocking with us. We appreciate you all. And
Wish
shout out
list.
to
Wish
all
list.
of our members,
Big
that are
Boy
elite members.
Boxing.
Absolutely. Thank you to our Patreons and YouTube members and our elite members. Thank you all. And again, go wish list this game on Steam. It's fire. Okay. Do it. It's going to come out. It's going to be awesome.
You're going to have a
Again,
blast.
Martin, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Doodle,
Yes.
we're going to end the show the way we end every single show. And Martin, don't leave it till we get to the green room in the back. All right. Doodle,
Yes.
we're done.
We are.
Until next time,
You're intruding.
you're intruding.